Hey guys, thanks for watching my YouTube video. And on this vlog, I'm going to be talking about something that I learned when I started traveling overseas. I've only been traveling overseas about 2 years now due to some circumstances that are kind of hard to explain unless you know me personally. But I have some stuff that is causing me to have to travel across seas due to friends and family having to live overseas for a while now. But on this little short video, I'm going to talk about something I noticed while traveling overseas. It's called passport privilege, which, me being a black male from America, I don't consider myself privileged at all. But I noticed that these things exist, and which I didn't know about it. Like I said, you only know these things if you travel overseas. And I can tell you that these things exist, and it's called passport privilege. Me being an American, from the last time I did my research was about 3 months ago, we can travel to about 128 countries without visas. We don't even need visas. We can just go into those countries, which 128 countries is a lot, which is like mostly probably like 90% of this, the world. And, once I noticed, like, just going through different TSA agents and gates in different countries. I haven't been to every country. I've only probably been to maybe like 1% of the countries that are in this world. Like I said, most of the countries I visit are do like layovers or, through connecting flights. And I noticed that this passport privilege, as being an American, that I can go into other countries without visas. People are going to treat me differently. They're going to be nice to me. And sometimes I notice that this isn't the case with other, places or people from other countries, from the Middle East. There are certain people in the Middle East and African countries, they're not allowed to travel into different countries and get treated well. I mean, they're not treated well when they get to these countries, and they're asked all kind of questions by the immigration officers when they come into these countries. They're asked why you're coming. Even in America, when they come to America, they're treated with hostility, and sometimes I was told by some people they're also searched and and treated like a so-called terrorist or someone from those regions. And like I said, what I learned from being in like this whole situation is like it's important for all people to be allowed to visit other countries, not say work. Like I said, if you're coming to work in a different countries just for a better life, that's different. And I think like being able to visit another country and having friends and family and people from other places actually help the country. It helps you become more educated and more and it helps with being like biases and different things that people have perceptions of people. And like I said, being American who have been to a lot of countries, because of my passport privilege, I noticed, like I said, when I go to these different countries, I learn, from interacting with the locals, with the people there and the things that they're facing, that it educates me. I learn so much more about myself and about these countries just by visiting them. Of course, you can learn something from movies and a book and something, but you don't really learn until you actually go to these countries and see how people are living and how they're treated. And like I said, the last country I was in Egypt, Alexandria, Cairo area, for about, I'll say 7 months. I was on vacation there. And one thing I learned about this, being in Alexandria in Egypt, I learned the importance of family and community. Like I said, Egypt is not the richest country in the world or the most, high tech, when it comes to, new technology and everything and new ways of thinking. But one thing I learned that we are missing in the America, we're missing the whole family, being close to your family, the respect of like younger people to adults, like having respect for older adults, and the importance of friendship. And here in America, like I said, I don't have a lot of friends. A lot of times I'm very lonely. America is very like focused on who getting more money, doing, and like I said, okay, money is important, but at the end of the day, you can have it and be very lonely and without any friends or family. Like I said, I have a house. I live in North Carolina, and I live in a beautiful area. Like I said, if you saw the area I live in any other place in the world, you'd be like, wow, it's a beautiful area. But I have a home, and I can tell you, like, I can count on my fingers how many times family have came over to visit me, And when I'm in Egypt, there's non-ending family and friends coming to visit you. And that's something I wish America had that we don't have. We don't have that kind of relationships. Not every family in America is the same. I'm just going by my experiences. In America, it's very hard to make new friends. It's very hard to build relationships. And you'll notice that a lot of the young adults are very disrespectful towards how they are around older adults and respect for the older population. And it gets deep, it goes deep. With, like I said, only place you would notice is only way you would notice certain things like this if you are to travel overseas. Like I said, I was in Egypt for 7 months and I loved it. And people are like, wow, you live in America, why would you want to be here? It's like, yeah, in America we have a lot of opportunities, but the treatment here in America, especially for a male like me, a man of color, it's not as what people would think. Like, I do have the opportunities. I do have opportunity because I have college education, and I have like a high standard of like living because of my education level. But the quality of life in America is not that great, like as people think of it like it is. And being a single man in America, a lot of times, a single man of color, a lot of times it's hard for you to make friends. It's hard for you to, navigate America as it's not as easy as people think. It's hard for a man of color to live in the States because of different things. And like I said, I'll go in more detail in a later conversation about how it is to be a man of color in America. But this episode is mostly about the passport privilege that I learned from being an American overseas, and while I have made my goal to really save enough money to leave America. And like I said, I go in deep with that details way. But this episode is mostly just talking about passport privilege and just some of my insight of what I learned from being overseas for 7 months and what I liked about it. So thank you guys for listening. Bye.